What's up guys, it's Mega giving you another video for Link Evolution. Today guys is the first installment of our series between me and fellow YouTuber JoninJoe. If you don't know him guys, he also does a lot of deck builds and Link Evolution videos. It's in the description down below. If you're new to this series, me and Joe pick decks that we've already made, or decks that like to come, or in the pipework, or we're just testing. And we literally just do a match, and having some fun. So we don't know what decks each others are using before we do the duel, so it's a little bit of a shock to you as it is to us. Believe me. If you missed the last duel, that is on Joe's channel. Do not miss out. It was a fun duel, very close, and we'll see who wins this one. So guys, let's get into it. We're going first, Joe's going first, guys, and you can see he's playing Gateway to Chaos, which means Blackluster Soldier. And of course, from the cards we are running a neo-spacian elemental hero build. He's of course got like a vote engine, so he's trying to go through for Alistair. We do Ash Blossom, try and negate Alistair's effect, stop him searching the invocation. Of course it's Joe, so he has Caught by the Grave, so we have to waste another hand trap in the form of Infinite Impermanence to stop Joe from searching invocation. Invocation, guys, is the key fusion card in the deck, able to go into some great invoke cards. We try to go into Neo-Space Conductor so we can get another monster in play, maybe the Neo-Spacian Aqua Dolphin so we can see Joe's hand, and so then we could go into Predaplant Verte Anaconda to get some sweet fusion plays. But of course Joe hand traps that as well, so he's kind of back and forth between the two hand traps at the moment. He does his Mirage is unfortunately not good going against Neo-Space Conductor. We try it once again, play another Neo-Space Conductor again, stopped by another hand trap. Oh my god, how many hand traps we've gone through in just 2 turns. But it doesn't matter, we do have 2 effect monsters in play. That means we can go into Verte Anaconda. This is a tricky situation because he is starting to build up counters on his gateway, and with Predaplant Verte Anaconda's effect, we are able to go into any one of our fusions. We do decide to go into Rainbow Neos just because he has the most attack points, and so he can kind of he can reset the board. We could send his monster back. We have the opportunity of sending his graveyard back into the deck. The downside of sending his graveyard back into the deck, he does get all access to his hand traps again, but if he does draw the invocation, it does stop him from going into, well, using his graveyard and my own to go into a invoked fusion monster. So we take the risk, and he set the Ash Blossom because he had one in his hand. With Gateway's effect, he is able to add one of his ritual cards from his deck to his hand. Unfortunately, his ritual won't, he can't do anything. He has bricked, unfortunately. So we use the Neo-Spacian Aqua Dolphin with its effect. Since we have a monster with 4500 attack, we can see his hand destroy one monster that's less than it, and we're fine, so we can see what he's running, deal some 500 damage in the process. We just go for the all-out attack swing, and with Super Polymerization, we are able to go into Predaplant Dragos Tepelia and go for that sweet round 1 win against his invoked Blackluster Soldier. But guys, that was a very interesting duel in the terms of hand traps, because that was really interesting what was going to go off, because how many hand traps we went through in just 2 turns is insane. Now, we get to go first. Unfortunately, we use Convert Contact to dump 2 Neo-Space into the grave and draw 2 cards. We do get the Neo-Space Conductor, so that means we can go into Aqua Dolphin from our hand, or other ones. I decided to go into the Aqua Dolphin because, yes, it's in my hand, but I wanted to see what Joe was running. In hindsight, I could have played Neo's Fusion now in order so I could see his hand and pop one of his big cards, but I decided not to because I wanted to save the Neo's Fusion in case of bad things. So he does have the Envoy of Chaos in his hand, so we could have destroyed that. We are seeing he's got set rotation, he's got invoked, he does invocation, so he does have some very sweet plays. With set rotation, he can either add his Chaos, his Blackluster Soldier ritual, or he can get Magical Meltdown for Alistair. So we know a ritual or a fusion is coming. With Predaplant Verte Anaconda, we do pay the 2000 life points, and we're able to go into Brave Neos. And with Neos Fusion in the grave, it does give our heroes a little bit of protection. With Shadow Mist, we're also able to draw, because Shadow Mist was sent to the graveyard via card effect, we do get to add a hero from our deck to our hand as well. So again, with the set rotation, Joe is able to search out Magical Meltdown and pretty much search out Alistair, which lets him get another invocation. So he's got 2 invocations in his hand. And please bear in mind, guys, invocation can allow him to use my graveyard as well as his own for fusion plays. So he goes into Armorage because he doesn't want to, like, in case things go south, he can protect his monster from being destroyed by card effects. So now here's the invocation play that I was saying. He's able to go into like a light, a fusion, a light, dark, or a fusion, light, dark, or fire. I keep saying the wrong word. Fire. Invoked play, and I believe Joe goes into the dark using my own Shadow Mist, which is kind of a little bit of a downside since we was going to play Viron next turn and banish it to get some good plays out with like Sunrise. So it goes into Caligar. I did misread Caligar's effect, and you'll see it in the next turn, unfortunately. So he plays another invocation, banishing my own elemental Neos with the Alistair that he resurrected with invocation's effect to go into Mechaba. If you don't know what Mechaba is, guys, he's basically an Omni-Negate which stops. Should I activate a spell, trap, or monster effect? If he discards the same type of cards, if I played a monster effect and he discarded a monster, he can not only negate the effect but banish the card, which is very scary. So at this moment, I'm like, right. I could go into. I'm trying to bait out the Mechaba because with Neo's fusion, we can just play it, go into any one of our fusions, great. I know Joe's got a monster in his hand with the Envoy of Chaos, so he decides to go for that and banish my Keeper. So now with this, we are able to go into either Brave Neos, Grand Neos, or Rainbow Neos. I decided to go into Grand Neos because I was trying to bounce Mechaba back into the deck. Unfortunately, because of Caligar's effect, I can't activate any more monster effects this turn. So we destroy the Caligar. Because Caligar is now destroyed, Brave Neos' effect activates, letting me search out Miracle Contact. And then I decide to use Grand Neos to crash into Mechaba, getting it out of the play for good. I don't use my Neos Fusion's effect in the graveyard because that way, if I did, I'd have to remove both of them from my graveyard just to keep Grand Neos in play. And I thought that wasn't worth it. So unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse, and he summons out the Envoy of the Beginning, BLS basically, guys, and he banishes our Brave Neos, getting around Neos Fusion's protection. So now, the only good thing is he can't attack the turn he can't attack with BLS the turn he activates its effect. He does actually get the Alistair as well, so he gets to search out another invocation. So if things are looking a bit dicey, we're like, as long as we can make it to the next turn, we have 2 fusions to go into, Miracle Contact and Neos Fusion, we can do some sweet plays. But Joe is now currently trying to find a way to pretty much deal that lethal 6k damage, and believe me, he does because it's Joe. So I believe he links off all 3 of his monsters to go into the BLS Link monster called Chaos. Blackluster Soldier of Chaos, which because he's used a level 7 or 8 monster, it does have some protection. It can't be destroyed by card effects and can't be targeted. He does have Invocation, allowing him to use my own Earth monster along with Alistair to go into invoke Malasilis. I can't pronounce that one. The Earth one, and that is bang on lethal. Unfortunately, we couldn't do anything to stop it. Again, if we did go to Rainbow Neos, we could have survived. But you don't know. Cause obviously, it's completely random. So now we're going to go second. Joe's going first. We do have Ash Blossom Infinite Permanence again. He does go into Photon Thrasher for a free summon and plays the Alistair. Again, invoke Ash Blossom the Alistair, stopping him from searching out Invocation. The last thing we want him to do. So now he's got 2 level 4 monsters in play. Normally, you think, what's he going to do? Like, is he going to like a Link monster, Xyz or whatever? He does go into the Xyz, I believe, in the form of Babushka, which is kind of annoying because Babushka is like, it would shut, like, it would shut down a lot of our monsters going to like the effect. So we could have played the Infinite Permanence and shut down Babushka, but we wouldn't have been able to do anything. So I decided to just set the Infinite Permanences and pass. On hindsight, I shouldn't have set both infinite impermanences because obviously it's a hand trap. You can use it during your turn if you have no cards in play. But I was scared that he was going to do something like this. I'd wanted to negate the Alistair so he couldn't add another invocation. They're down, but because this deck is kind of explosive, what we've seen with Joe, I started to set the other invocation because I didn't want him to play another big, another impermanence because I didn't want him to do another big monster's effect. So I play, so that's why I set the other impermanence. So because we played it now, he's basically negated the Nightmare Phoenix. It didn't really matter. He pitched a card, but unfortunately, we did negate 2 Alistair's effects, but he had the invocation in his hand, which is very unfortunate because it does mean he has out Mechaba. It does mean now he gets the Alistair back into his hand, so next turn he can go into another invocation play, and also it means he has a monster negate in his hand. And he doesn't negate Shadow Mist, so with Shadow Mist we do get to add a hero monster from my deck to our hand. Like I say, the downside is with Mechaba, he can just shut down anything we attempt to do. I do try and go into the Liquid Soldier, because then I could play it, hopefully he could negate its effect, then I could play Miracle Fusion, bring it back. The only downside is I do misplay, because I could have played Miracle Fusion to go into like Sunrise or Absolute Zero. I do kind of misplay here, and I was like, oh crap, I can't play Miracle Fusion because I kind of forgot it needed a water attribute, which was completely my bad. So we've literally seen the writing on the wall. We know what's coming. He does go into Alistair, and he was going to go into the Invocation play, Purgatrio, the whole shebang. He did go into Unicorn to bounce my monster back into our hand. Because Alistair's in the grave, Invocation will bounce his monster. Unfortunately, Joe does crash here, so he does go into the Purgatrio. I say he does, like, this is now lethal. We've lost, and unfortunately he crashes. His game crashes. So technically we won, but we all know, guys, the real winner is Joe, because if it weren't for that crash, we would have lost. Again, if we saved that last infinite permanence, we could have played it, negating Mechaba's effect and doing what we wanted to do, but that's the downside. You've got to take risks, haven't you, guys? Sometimes you just got to go for it and hope for the best. Fortunately, the heart of the cards was on Joe's side. If you enjoyed this duel, guys, hit that thumbs up. It makes see if you enjoy this series, and also if you're struggling, so if you enjoy the decks, my deck is on my channel. Joe's is coming soon. Please look forward to that. And Joe's channel is in the description. Give him some love, guys, because without this, without him, this series would not be a thing. Wherever you are in the world, guys, hope you take care and have fun. Bye bye.